Christopher?
Can you hear us? Can't hear you. Maybe it's connecting audio.
Yeah, I think maybe he can't. If you can hear us, can you write it in the chat, Christopher, please? Well, if not, it will be recorded. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. We are closer and closer to meet physically, to encounter in Egypt. What a special place we chose to meet again. So quite happy for that to be. Sean, is there anything that you want to say?
I'm looking forward to this. The turnout looks magnificent and the types of souls coming. It'll be very shaky in how much the world changes from the event of us coming back together. Good to see you guys. How's everyone feeling?
Good. Excited. I'm excited.
As likewise.
I have no words.
No words?
No words. For the first time.
Well, some of you have had more experiences than the others because it depends on the level of preparation that this trip involves. Each one will be receiving, that I can assure you. We all will be receiving tons of information and blessings. And well, for the ones that it's your first time in Egypt, no words. As Alana said, like beyond words, because once you step in Egypt, your life will never be the same. I mean, it's never the same. Every time we are evolving. The thing is that Egypt is an amplifier, and it expands your greatness, everything that you are, your wholeness. So when you know the how to, then it gives beautiful results. So this is what we are here for. And for the ones that have already been to Egypt, well, it's never the same. And you keep on gaining new skills and assets and remembering things and continue to expand. So either way, it's beautiful. And mostly because of the combo that we are generating, all these beautiful souls that we are gathering together at very special places to mirror into those places and receive everything that is already within us, and we are just remembering it. So I congratulate your braveness, your courage, your will to go beyond everything and that could be manifesting in order to show how committed you are to your own evolution and to bless humanity with the beautiful seeds that each one of us will be planting in this fertile land. So having said this, the purpose of this, the main purpose of this gathering, as we will be having more, you know, if you want to talk about any specific topic before us being there, please feel free. We will be opening a chat in Telegram, which is easier to share videos, so that any questions that you have or places that you want to visit or that you feel curious about and you would like to know if there is a space opened for us to go, please feel free to do that. And then we can also arrange other gathering and talk about those questions that you have related to the trip, related to Egypt, and well, however we can assist you. So yeah, you want to say something, Sean?
Well, I'm writing a bunch of stuff down that we can go over for some of the other places, and if you guys have in your research found places you specifically wanted to go to, let's bring that up and we'll put it on the document and we'll research the things that that place offers, and then we can make it an option for you. And yeah, this is it. It's not like there are solidified parts of this based on what's most powerful and what we see and describe as what the best thing that you can get out of this. But other stuff is in free flow based on your comfort and making everything so that you feel as healed and amazing as possible when going to and coming back from these places and in between, as well as where we'd be going that are specific to your soul and what's calling to you. Hey, Chris.
Hello, sorry, I had a Mama Food Forest meeting. I just wanted to listen to them a little bit. Yeah, hello everybody. Sorry, I'm
Aloha.
late.
See ya.
Yeah.
And there's many things we can talk about, and if you guys got questions, and we'll be going over a little bit of like what's going on information, feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat that you have a question or whatever.
Okay. Well, anyone, any questions so far? No?
Everyone's
Okay.
very shy. Don't worry. Don't open up. We know each other more.
Well, I think that the ones that are present already, all of you have got already your flying ticket, right? You, Henrik,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Henrik, if you have already your flight ticket.
Yes.
Oh, Alana, yes. Saif, yes.
Yep.
Christopher, yes. But Henrik, I don't think he's listening to me. Yeah, I think he's elsewhere. Yeah. Henrik.
I lost audio for 1 minute. So now
Yeah.
now it's working. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was like, Henrik. Do you
You
have
want-
your flight? Do you have your flying ticket already?
no, not yet. No.
Okay. Okay. Well, then
Yeah.
I will be mentioning this because other that also haven't got their flying ticket will be watching this recording. So what we are suggesting to everyone before they buy their flying ticket is to book it before the 21st, perhaps for the 29th, or I mean the 19th or the 20th, so that you can be well rested and fresh to start on the 21st. And your departure to book it for the 3rd, so that because we finished on the 2nd, so the night of the 2nd is also included. So then you can rest and then fly on the 3rd. So
I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna have to still leave on a sec. I tried to change my flight. They were gonna charge me like $400. So but that's okay. I'm sure the trip will still be awesome. Yeah.
okay, you are arriving on the 21st, or
I'm not. I leave on the 19th here, but Hawaii is like literally halfway around the world. So I believe I arrive. Actually, I can pull this up right now.
yes, please, to get it already.
Give me 1 quick second here. I'm just logging in. There we go. Verify. So I am. What? Where is? Oh, there it is. So I arrive on the 21st. So yeah, it's a 14-hour flight. The 21st at 7:55.
Okay. Okay. Well, don't worry. You try to be as rested as you can throughout the flight. and I will take care of all the activities so that you can have some time to, you know, to freshen up. And yeah.
Oh, I made the going flight there first class, so I'll be completely rested.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the
That's
return
awesome.
flight, not first class, but the going flight is first class.
Ooh,
I learned the
nice.
last trip.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll be so jealous.
It's gonna be like
Thinking of
20
you
hours
while I'm not
of plane
sleeping.
rides. I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
My
If,
God,
nice.
if you guys
awesome.
aren't well rested, then I'll do a bunch of meditations with you as you guys arrive to like gaining back your energy and high vibe. I also made a nice information on like what to do with airport energy to make it so that you get revitalized instead of drained and like, oh, this sucks, like a sardine. So I'll be giving that to you if maybe in this episode. If not, then go ahead.
And please,
Well,
I'm sorry, please excuse
no.
me if I check out to get back to this meeting. I will check into the recording. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have so much stuff going. I mismanaged the time. I thought it was at 10:30 because of the daylight savings time or whatever. But yeah, sorry for interrupting again. Just to let you guys know, not to be rude if I just skip out.
No problem.
No problem. And yeah, I will be sending to you the recording. And yeah, I'm sorry that you got confused the time. And yeah, but anyway, you will get the recording. And if you have any question, we can talk later. Okay. So yes. And well, also about your departure, I've already arranged for the last day to already be, you know, like not fully speed, yet already relaxed, so that we don't need to wake up all exhausted on the 3rd to then get a flight. And, you know, so already the 2nd will only be about celebration and, you know, like us gathering together and celebrating everything that we will have achieved by that time. So yeah, also that. And well, another thing for the ones that are arriving earlier, there are 2 options, which are to stay in another hotel, another one than the other one that we will be staying at. This hotel will be a little bit cheaper than the main one, the one that we will be using throughout the trip in our stay in Cairo. And so I can get you a special fee if you want to stay in another hotel. If you want to stay in the same hotel that we will be staying in Cairo, then that's also possible. Will require that each one of you let me know what's your choice, whether to do a cheaper one or to do the same hotel so that you don't have to move your things. So, and anyway, you can also contact me and I will give you the rates, like how much is it cheap, you know, or what's the difference, so that based on that you can also make a choice. Okay. So any question related to that, to be covering all the points?
Actually, about
Oh, sorry.
okay,
Yes,
go.
Alana?
Sure, go ahead. Okay, thank you, Henrik. What hotel, what is the main hotel? Which one are we staying at?
The hotel where we will be staying is the Diva Hotel. Why? Because we were considering another one, but as the area has shifted so much, like they have demolished a lot. So a lot of
Wow.
energy has, a lot of energy has been moved. And the energy around the hotel that we first chose is not aligned and not the energy that we need to be fully opened, because there is so much energy going on that it's mostly like taking care of all the energy that is surrounding. And the hotel where we will be staying is precisely aligned to the part of the Giza Plateau that we are meant to be aligned to. And of course, it's also in the Yssah Plateau, and it's also very close to the pyramids. So yeah, and it's a very also well-known hotel, prime class, and yeah, everything also like the same, just a different location, because it was very different. I had the opportunity to be while they were starting to remove most of the side in the Yssah Plateau, because, well, Alana, you have been there, and also Sean. You have Yssah Plateau where the pyramids are, and let's say like in the backyard, it was full of houses, of people, full of houses. The government removed them all, like took all the people outside of their houses, relocated them. So all that area is not only, it not only looks like a trash can. It also energetically is can be overwhelming, because of course they removed everything, and everything that those people were guarding, because they were guardians of that area. So everything that they were guarding came out to surface. And yeah, it's kind of a difficult energy to, not difficult, but it's not necessary for us to.
Was that the ones around Mina House?
Yes, no, around, all around the area, all around the area. They have started to approach to the Mina House, but all the area around is now emitting that vibe, you know?
Right, wow.
So yeah, and of course the Mina House as an epicenter now, hold on, because there is someone joining. Someone else. So yeah, the Tiva is the hotel that is precisely aligned to what we need and that we will be covering through our journey. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Henrik, Sabi,
I didn't. That's not.
Iya?
Hi.
Yes, who is
Oh,
Iya?
it's Sabrina. Sabrina.
Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina.
Yeah, my kids named that, so sorry. Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
Yes. Hello, thank you.
Happy to have you here. We
Yes,
were covering some points of the logistic and the flights, the flying tickets, the accommodation, some recommendations, but everything is already recorded. So
okay,
if you have any question related to that, please feel free also to.
Okay,
There is someone else coming in. Yeah, Henrik, you were going to ask something.
Yeah, about the schedule, the April, I think it was mentioned before in the program that the last day, 3rd of April, would be Mount Sinai, but is it still on the program, or?
It is still on the program, climbing the Mount Sinai. Of course it is. Nevertheless, we moved it earlier to the 30th.
Okay.
Yes, because of the same thing of the flying tickets. We didn't want to be, because it's something beautiful, and yet it involves energy. You know, even though we will be flying there from Aswan to Sharm el Sheikh, and even though there is also the option to whether go climbing, and by climbing I mean walking, because it's a trail. There is already a trail, you walk, you know. It involves energy, of course. It requires some effort, more because of all the energy that moves within. So, and everything that you're feeling. And So it ignites beautiful things within, and the energy that you get to feel. When I went there the first time, by the time that I was walking down, my legs would be shaking. Like it was very difficult for me to walk down because they were shaking because of all the energy that I was feeling. But there is also the option to do camel. So, you know, if you don't feel like walking, there is also the option to do it the Bedouin way, which is
Mhm.
yeah.
So,
Oh my God.
so
Guys ride camels?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
How was
did.
it for you?
The girl that I was, you know, the reason I asked, well, never mind, I won't go into that, but the girl that I ended up sharing a room with the whole trip, right? She was on the camel behind me. Her camel turned around and bit her on the arm. Like it didn't bite through, but it grabbed onto her. And she, for the rest of the trip, she had a camel mouth on her arm and she was pissed the
Why?
whole trip.
What happened?
I don't know. I missed it. I heard her scream and I turned around.
Okay.
That's
Her
really
camel had
weird.
just bit her. I know. Like
Yeah.
no, that wasn't a normal thing. But there was, you know, Carmen's trip was like there was fights breaking out. There was stalkers, there was
Stalker.
arguments. Oh, well, yeah. So there was before we got Memphis tours, there was another tour company involved. And then something went wrong and they were ripping her off or something like that. I don't know what was going on. And then, but the woman decided like she was doing the work for her so she could get the free trip. And so that was all canceled, but she decided she was going anyway. So she went anywhere. She went everywhere with this. And so Carmen was pissed off the whole entire time. There was a fight on the boat. There, you know, when you go in the museum for the boat, the boat museum,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I'll
yes.
never forget that, standing right in front of that big fight going the whole time. Oh my God, it was like the drama.
Yeah.
Because Carmen was drama, right? But you know, I did my thing because I had a very dramatic Cherokee elder for the years I studied with her, all those years, and so I'm well versed with difficult kind of people. It's my mother, I'm used to dealing with that. So so she made sure I sat beside her on the bus and everything else, so nobody else could sit beside her. So I just was the buffer the whole time, but that was okay with me. It was good because I just stuck with her with an audio recording. Speaking of which, Sean, are you going to be recording? Do you have a way of recording what you say? So
Yeah.
or do
yeah.
we just? Okay,
Yes.
good.
Not the
Yes.
entire time, and some of the stuff you guys are getting will be somewhat very secret. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
open book to the various questions you have, but I may not record them, or if I do record them, I may not upload them unless it's a pretty high price range on it. Because you guys, I can already tell, are gonna have some very good questions. And if some of them lead to very powerful abilities, then I'll probably answer you on how to do those abilities, because we'll have quite a bit of time together and we can teach a lot, and it will make the timeline better. So I'm open to it. But yeah, I'm not allowed to give a lot of those abilities to other regular people. So yeah, that will be fun. Oh, and yeah, and we'll be of dancing around drama and transmuting it, getting good at that. I'm very good at resolving drama demons and anything that would come in, and then tracking them back and why, and then we overcome them, and then I don't expect it will happen that much in our space, but when we're interacting in other bubbles of reality with other people, there's things that the Matrix can try to send at us with Agent Smiths, but we'll be able to dance around it pretty easily, and then transmute them with love, and then it will be a nice practice for you guys to take home and then use it in your daily lives when you come up against those things. I know you guys do.
Yeah. Egypt can amplify some programs. And yeah, how I see it, and also we will be giving some recommendations for where we, by the time that we assist to very public places, for instance, the Giza Plateau, that there is like a lot of salesmen coming towards you or close to you. So there are specific techniques that are related to how you handle to the matrix, because one of the beautiful things that Egypt shows is a neat reflection of what the artificial matrix is. So everything is like a video game. So there are specific ways to like being able not to connect with all that drama, you know, and just follow your path, follow your path. Otherwise, if the matrix gets that you are, you know, like receptive to it, then it will be more and more and more and more and more. So maybe that's what happened to her, among many other factors.
Oh yeah, Carmen's total drama. She passed away now, but I was standing at the dump today up in the country, and we have to take our garbage to the dump, and I was there and I was talking to Sammy, and that's my social life up here is going to the dump in the post office once a week, and that's it. That's the only people I see. But there was this guy there who was a brand new guy, just moved up there from Toronto. Well, something happened to me, and I just started coming out, and the book started coming out, and all the stuff on the Egypt and everything. And he was like right there, and I mentioned Carmen. Oh yeah, I watched the Pyramid Code. Oh, I mean, I was standing there in the dump today, just before this, having this whole conversation with a brand new guy in the neighborhood. These are all farmers. They don't even have cell phones. And then here he is, and we're talking like this, and Sammy's standing there going, what the hell's going on? It was wild. So another thing, when you're saying about, you know, like we talked about the fact that everything, as soon as you make the decision, everything starts happening, right? So the roller coaster I've been on since Sean was encouraging me strongly to go on this trip, it's been like this the whole time. Right. So I'm elated, excited, fear-based, and it would just going on constantly. So, and now I'm glad to say that it's balancing out. I'm leveling out, Sean. It's okay. I've learned all those things. And so
I'm glad that they didn't stop you, and it's like a bull to push you off, and then the emotional overwhelm once it clears, and the fear and the false evidence appearing real, everything's like, wow, this wouldn't have happened if I wasn't going. And they're desperate to stop it, and then you can like interview that back, and you can see the cause and effect of like what and like how they even gained that awareness. Like, were they listening in our conversation? Most unlikely, but then there's a lot of beings in the matrix trying to see what changed the future, and then they're looking to who changed the future, and then go back in time and then target those from people from being involved from their chess moves. And it's like coming up against in a gale force wind storm to get to your destination. Like some of the I've told some people, some of the biggest things that have changed my life for the better, I had to face big gale force winds of like negative emotions, sadness, suicide programs, overwhelm, fear, and all that. And I just knew that it was the thing that was there to stop me, and it wasn't real. And as I got through it and took hold of that, and then gave it love and shrunk it down, then I saw clearly again. And then the next steps were amazing, and like so much abundance, so much good friends I met. Yeah, it's annoying that these things stop you, but they're also the weight that makes you stronger. Because then I became immune to like suicide programs and other stuff. So understandable. Oh, and then yeah, you're gonna get a lot of good stuff coming from this trip. Spiritually manifesting abundance, increase intelligence. There's so much. So, and it's going to be fun. We're going to teach you a lot of powerful abilities, such as overcoming the matrix, learning what the matrix is. I don't teach this to almost anyone. and then like how they, what matrices were, who made them, how, if they're sent at you, you can capture them, and then you get your own matrices, and then yeah, there'll be some good stuff, because all this stuff is not made by evil. Evil did not have any authority to make this. They steal this tech. So like then it's like restoring the planet, the more people that have earned this tech and with good moral code, and showing it with Earth and the prime creator of the galaxy, etc. And then you get more and more of seen in their eye as worthy, and then you get their tech. So it's lovely. And it's like restoring, and any planet you go to that you're incarnating on, you're there to learn all the problem, so solve all the problems that they're dealing with, and then gain overpoweredness in the things they're good at, and then you graduate. So we're gonna do that very quickly.
Yay.
Yes.
I'm only going on this thing for you.
Sounds nice.
I just want to be that close to you on a nonstop and have you like, 2 weeks of you.
Bring your journal and
I'm
recorder or something. Yeah, I'm gonna say a
I've
lot.
got it already packed. Sean, this is the third book. This is the third book.
Yay! I'm so
So
glad
I'm
you're
bringing
like
my.
so on the grind with writing. That's beautiful.
This is where I'm. Yeah, this is it. I didn't know what the third book was going to be about, but I had a feeling it had to do with you, because you're right through the first book. So
Honor. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I got to get some quotes from you too, since I can't get you on the phone sometimes to get that. So, yeah, I'm going to be on you like.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Well, I hope that everyone is having harmonious, like the rest of you is having like a harmonious path to get to Egypt. Some of you, I know that you're still like handling some interference that are coming in the way or related to distractions. Well, from my experience, as I told Alana, like the path starts from the very first moment that you said that you say yes. A lot of tests come in order to prove how big is your commitment to yourself, not even to Egypt, but to yourself, because of how much of you is waiting for you there. All those memories, all that remembrance. So
talk about there's like a lot of treasure at the end. So they gotta put up tests that are worthy, both the light that are involved in these places of power, and them allowing the dark to do it. If you threaten the dark's reign of power, like by pulling your power back, your parts, your divinity shards, your past lives, all coming back, and then much more because you're helping restore the planet, and then the dark being like, no. So like a lot of tests in Egypt will use these mystery schools to test people in the initiates to see if they're ready for the higher level. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I also.
Well, yeah, like from the most daily basis to the most initiatic part. For instance, now that Sean mentioned the pieces, this is very related to the Gregor that has been created from the Osiris code. Like Osiris, if everyone knows about him, if not, Osiris is one of the so-called gods, which is Nether, which is the divine essence of something. And Osiris is like the maximum point to reach in an ascension. Every pharaoh where they would passed away, but they were mummified as to encapsulate them in this hibernation process in mountains near the portals for when the moment come, then they could rise as an Osiris. This is very important. So it was also a title. So bottom line, Osiris was separated into pieces. This king was separated into pieces, this god, this Nether, and was brought back by his wife, Isis. So every time that we connect with Egypt, it's this huge connection and correlation to how we left pieces of ourselves all over the planet, reflecting on different places for us to tune into those memories. And we can go through this code at different scales. We can go earthly wise, we can go biologically wise, genetically wise, because also the 14 pieces of Osiris reflect in the 14 spaces that interconnect the joints. But anyway, I will be sharing with you more about this when we go to the temple, because it's very related to how the human was designed, how the human was created, and how these little small forms, human forms, are shown in the depictions, in the hieroglyphs, in every mamisis, where the 7 Hathor would be breastfeeding the babies, the Adam, or that would come and would form the new race of Atlanteans. All those human beings, and to some extent that would be raised as the Atlantean civilization. So, so imagine when you connect with the core that is in the blueprint of every human, because we will be going to the Osiris, where there was the main place for breathing humans into the human blueprint, into the human hologram, into the human blueprint. That's why there is the laser of the flower of life. And by this, I mean, because this is something like very delicate, I won't open the topic already, because yeah, it will be like, yeah, we will be talking about it in every place. The thing is that there are specific codes that are inherent to Egypt and that relates to the origin. Yeah, we can relate also the human origin to Armenia or to Sumeria or to, you know, to Babylonia and all those other ancient sites. Yet when it comes to Egypt, it relates to something much deeper, much, much deeper. And it's related to the tree of life. It's related to the particle of light, to the tree of life, the particle of light, the seed of life, and so forth. So, yeah, it's beautiful.
I am so grateful that you, like, you know, ever since I've started listening to you talk through this whole thing, I'm so excited about you, because, I mean, when I was down in the Osiris, we saw the flower of life, but nobody had an explanation of what was going on down there. Nobody, we're not, you know, that's why being with you guys, that time, I mean, we had some Hollywood people there, you know, just, they just wanted to go shopping. And you and it was Sean, of course, my young guru, we getting the real meaning of everything and what was going on with that. That's gold. Like, I don't see anybody else giving, they're either going for the geology or the whatever. It's like tour, you know what I mean? And when listening to you speak about the stuff that you know about all this, I'm excited, like, a lot for that. I really appreciate you, Yssah.
Oh, thank you. Likewise, Alana. And we will be igniting all of this biologically and holographically wise, because there are specific parts in the body, like the 8 original cells located in the coccyx, and specific parts like the thymus gland upgrade, that it's related to the plasma orb that we are capable to rise and generate all this electromagnetic field that is capable to generate a field of coherence that you can access to free energy, that you can access to many, many more things, and also to other capabilities that are operating in the DNA, and that we will make much easier for that to be, because the difference between doing it in your house and doing it in Egypt is, well, many reasons to express, but just to mention, let's say 2 of them, is the resonance of the temples, like the resonance that is generated in the places that we will be going and that we will be chanting and that we will be doing these meditations, because we have prepared a space for that to happen. And it's like there is no point of comparison. Another thing is that we encoded that ourselves. We agreed to go there and connect with those memories. So it's like it's a calling from our fractals that is being emitted all the way to us for us to re-encounter. So when I say this re-encounter, I'm not talking only about us. I'm talking about the re-encounter that you will be facing with your wholeness, with one of the most important fractals, because those fractals, the ones that are in Egypt, are the ones that are holding the codes for power, expansion, sovereignty, expression, sensuality, full manifestation. Like, yeah, so yeah, very excited. And yeah, for the ones that are having like, from my experience, I can share you that every time that, well, the first times that I went to Egypt and I don't know if I have shared this with you. I will share it like this briefly. I was in the White Desert and this magnificent sky that you can experience it in the beach, in the forest, in the mountain. Yet the night at the desert is unique, is sublime. You can see like, it's not even like the scenario shifts and you're capable to see with other eyes, with a deeper side, what is really beneath each rock, each particle of sand, beyond the dome. And so I was being called by one lion guardian, because there are these sphinxes, well, not sphinxes, they're the heads of the lions. And I was called to go there by sunrise. So I went there and I climbed there, but it's a very difficult rock to climb because it's slippery. As long as you start to try to climb, you're sleeping. So I went like beyond all the reasons why I should not do it. You will get killed. That was the main one. It's like, well, two, you will get killed, or the second one is this necessary? Do you really need to go and climb that rock to prove that you are there, for you fully committed to yourself? Do you really need to do that? So as these thoughts were continuously going over and over in my head, I would keep on climbing and climbing. And at some point, there was this huge space in between rock and rock. Me, like slippery rock, huge space, and then another rock. And I was like, and already the sunrise about to happen. And I was like, shall I go back? Shall I continue? What do I do? And those were like the longest 5 minutes of my life, going forward and, like thinking, what shall I do? And I have these friends that were filming for his company of throughout all Africa. He organizes trips. They were like crazy in the Jeep, filming me and yelling, like encouraging me. And so, but they didn't even know what I was doing. They were just encouraging me, but they were asking like, what is Yssah doing there? Like, why is she climbing that mountain? So bottom line, I thought about my daughter. I said, like, what if I die here? Who is going to stay with my daughter? Like all kinds of thoughts, like how many things have I done in this path to receive and to prove that I am fully committed to myself? And yet I'm here near to the edge, trying to prove something more. Why? Why is this necessary? And then I took this huge breath. and jump. But it was just a small jump. It was just like doing like hopping. Boom. And then I started laughing because it was so easy. It was so easy. It was more what I have created and generated of complexity than what it really was. So I crossed and I reached the point and I got to the sunrise. And yeah, I believe, and then I came to realize how many times in our lives this experience repeats, you know, like, do I really need to put myself into this position? Is this really necessary? I could have stayed in the sand and nothing would have happened. But what I received by going to the top of that mountain is beyond words. It's beyond words what I received. Not only by crossing and all the thinking, but what I received of information and in connection to my own memories related to the lion's race is go beyond words. So yeah.
Nice.
How do I pronounce your name properly?
You can pronounce it Yssah, Yssah. It's up to
Yssah.
in
Thank
Egypt.
you.
You will what?
Thank you.
Oh,
No, I
thank
just wanted to
you.
do it right.
Yeah, thank you. It's okay. You will listen people calling me in Egypt Aisha. So that's also an option, Aisha.
Oh, I
Yes.
do have a question. I have two questions. Sean, you mentioned, did you, I hope I heard this wrong. Did you mention about, I don't know if it was, I'm assuming it was, which one is it Kobo, no, whatever, which one's the crocodile?
Yeah, I was
With
gonna ask Yssah on the mystery schools of like facing the crocodiles as an example of. Yeah, you're right. And going underwater to cross through the water and facing the fears and coming out okay. And a lot of the times they won't tell the people, but the crocodiles they face, they fed them already. So, but it's mostly fear that they're facing. They don't like piss them off. But yeah, and so yeah, and a lot of people
But
get
that's not
through,
really
but
like,
the people that don't get through are based on their own decision to not go all the way through.
so you're saying that they're actually doing this now? Because I stood in front, we
Yeah.
were there, I saw it.
Oh,
I saw
yeah,
how it works, and I really envisioned that initiation process myself. Because I thought, you know, it was very familiar to me, but nobody mentioned that it's actually going on. So when you said that, I said, are you saying that people are going through there
Yeah.
with the crocodiles? And
Well,
oh my
I
God.
mean, we're not actually swimming unless you really want to, then maybe I'll do it with you. I kind of up to anything. I'll cuddle with the crocodiles. Will be good. So besides that, I mean, like spiritually, things are going to be challenging you in a school to see if you're willing to overcome it to get to the gold treasure chest at the end, which those that deserve that have gone through the challenge. And yeah, you will be getting more than most tours out of this, like pretty much lifetimes worth of power coming to you and things overcoming and karma remedy. And I'll be initiating you as essentially magicians or magicians, or there's all various names for this. In like the force of magic being able to apply to you in a lineage in a lot of amplified ways. And yeah, I'm teaching you guys how to be healers, to use the force, to amplify your knowingness ability, to amplify love, to tune into missions, psychic tracking, psychic translation, and be able to do this stuff yourself wherever you go, making the planet better, making yourself better, increasing your life in life extension. There's a lot of things you can do. Then you'll be writing books like Alana. Your third book, and bringing more of this material for future generations to learn from as the greater wisdom teachers for the future. you'll be making bigger and bigger impacts. And that is, oh yeah, and of course, yeah, we'll be tuning into the secret tour, the secret tests, the secret mystery school that people that just go to the same temple will not be getting. They just pass right up by it. We'll be training everyone in psychic tracking and being able to tune into the things that call to you, telepathy, so the things that nudge you and communicate with you, little insects landing on you, what they mean, where they go back, track back to, the cats, the little kittens that are going to be at the Isis temple, the various things that are going to be looking through them, and the wind hitting you and speaking to you, the various telepathic text messages you'll be getting from the temple guardians, the gods, the ones that see who you are while you're here, remember you, giving your past life integration, all this kind of cool stuff. And you'll be tracking the secrets of the temples and the locations. We're going to accumulate it all, write it down. We'll try to be fast because I tend to take my time, and we were talking about that before. Like I like to take my time, but I gotta, we gotta like stick together and talk about things and integrate and write everything down and then set it up so that we're in a timely manner in Windows. So we'll help you all do that while practicing all your abilities that you'll be earning and getting and developing. And I'll be coming to you in positive emotions and big weights on your heart. We're gonna teach you how to transmute any weight that comes up fairly quickly, so you can do that whenever you need to, when you deal with it in daily life with whatever negative emotion that comes up with you regularly in daily life. How like some people face frustration or anger or sadness in their daily life. We'll be doing that as a mastery class, and then learning what it means, where it's coming from, and then turning it into your fuel for all the systems of magic that you want to develop.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, you won't be
Okay.
getting this anywhere else. Triple lifetime, and
No,
we're cheaper.
absolutely.
We're cheaper than other tours. We're getting it to you because Yssah knows the right people.
Yes, she does. She
Hey.
does. You know, this whole thing that I went through with the Egypt, with the visa at the embassy, I realized on my drive home, I thought, oh my God, Sean, I've been shrinking everything down. I know what you're talking about now. So I realized everything that came up, I was shrinking it down. And boy, that letter, that worked like a charm. Like that was, in fact, I mean, I even got a little bit of a smile out of her, I think. Like it was that there was 20 people in that small room, nobody breathing. Like everybody was so scared to do anything or anything that was going to get them thrown out or get their visa rejected or whatever, freaking Canadian things. So, but it was very, very quiet. And one guy smiled at me, I smiled back at him. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh, are we allowed to smile? You know, like it was that serious. And then when I made a kind of a little joke to her, and there was 4 men, but that one woman doing all of that work and everything. And she was just, you know, it's like people were going, do I get a reference number? No. Do I get a receipt? No. No, we'll call you. No, that's it. It was like, and I was so ready for it. And she just looked at that letter, and you were right. She said immediately, because I couldn't read it. And I said, I don't know what the address is. And she said, I saw 150. we call, you know, I was out of there like that after an hour of being there, you know, like whatever. And then all of a sudden I was like gone. It was perfect.
Awesome.
Good job.
Glad to hear it. Yeah. And you got through it and you didn't let them stop you. Good job. Hey, Lindsay.
Yeah, it was a chess move.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you. Glad you made it.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. You know, just trying to get a few things done before I have to go to work and whatever.
I'm glad. I hope this didn't like interfere with the time and stuff. I know there's a little late notice. Hey, Casey, do you hear me? You're muted.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, glad you could make it. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. So we'll be going into some interesting topics on this, covering some details of this trip, and whatever you guys need an accommodation, we're gonna set to take care of it for you. And we've got a lot of it already done. It's gonna be fun.
I have a
I
random question.
Yeah.
Like for clothes or whatever, like do you have like place to wash clothes? Like I was just
Yeah.
So
The
you can-
various
Yeah.
hotels will have that.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
very good question. And yeah, we have the option to give it to the tour programmer, and then he will find a place to wash the clothes if due to the time. I mean, in some hotels we will be, hi Lindsay, by the way.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
And we will be having in some of the places like a couple of nights to give it to the hotel. Otherwise, we will also have the option to give it to the tour programmer so that he can take care of it, and then you will have your clothes washed if you need so. So
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I know it's just a weird thought, but then I was like, oh, how much clothes do you need to bring? You know, like you, and then I was like, you know, if you were able to wash it, it, you know, instead of having like 2 weeks of clothes, right?
yes, and also now that you mentioned this, for the clothes that we suggest you to bring, as we will be camping in the desert, even though we will be in the best conditions to do so, just considering that, you know, like bringing very comfortable clothes. And I will write a whole list so that it will be easier, just to let you know.
Okay.
But I will be mentioning it already so that you have an idea, and if a question comes in, you ask it already, or you can also ask to in the group of Telegram that we will be opening.
Okay.
So jackets, like a light jacket, and also a medium jacket, because as we will be going to St. Catherine, and in St. Catherine, the weather is a little bit colder, mostly because we will be going up to the mountain. And in March, even we have like climate changes, then it's better to be, you know, like to prevent, you know. So
Yeah.
And white clothing for a lot of the sunny places, and yeah, we got these little neck fans for everyone, and you can bring a hat if you want. But we'll
oh
also
yeah,
be setting up so that you can buy a hat there if you want.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. Thank
And
you.
yes.
is there like how about regarding being covered or wearing long sleeves? Are we going to be mostly in our own group or
Look, we have the option, and that we will be like opening it to the group, to go to downtown at some point to do some shopping if you want, because there are like very good things to buy in a very good price, and very typical, and the place is beautiful, you know, like if you want to see old mosques and all of that, then it's also an option. And for those places, as we are tourists, well, I cannot consider myself a tourist anymore, but like as we go in a group, then you want, like, it's okay, you know. If we get to go inside a mosque in order to prevent like people staring at you, making you feel uncomfortable, then you could wear something, but not because you have to. The only thing that is very important for us to do if we enter a mosque, if we choose to at some point, if in one of the spare time or spare days, then it's the shoes, like removing the shoes, you know, that you have to take out. But aside of that, it's okay. Hi, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really care. What last time I was there, when we had a lot of women in the tour, and they're just like regular Westerner people. So if you were worried about like, you know, having to wear that, they don't care. It's like a tour.
Yeah,
They're very aware of the tourists.
I was in Cairo, I think in 2009, and I wasn't in a big group, and I remember feeling very like I had this completely not appropriate wardrobe. But I guess in a group it's a bit different.
It's mostly about how you feel. Like if you are a little bit, like very receptive of the looks that you might receive from your clothing, then you might just take energy from that and just use like clothes that you know that might make you feel uncomfortable, unless you want to go beyond that feeling, and then you say, I don't care, I'm going to transcend that idea or that uncomfortable feeling of people staring at me, because Egyptian will be staring anyway, like it's
Smile to
part
them,
of the code. Yeah.
and we'll be dancing, so they're gonna want to stare.
Yeah, and it's part of the beauty
Maybe
to
they'll
it,
join us. Yeah.
Yeah. So however you feel however you feel comfortable. Yeah, they will be staring anyway. So if it's not for the dress code, it
So
will
how
be for other
beautiful you
things.
all
So
are.
yeah.
Yeah, they can't stop themselves.
Yeah.
It's a very crowded city also.
Yes, and yeah, what can I tell you? I love Egypt. Yeah, it's very crowded and people can get very close to you, but there are different techniques to get away with that. So yeah, and we will be sharing them with you. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so no dress code related to Islam. Nevertheless, there is this thing that happens mostly to women, some men as well, that when you're in a temple in Egypt, you just feel like having a mantle in your head and connecting with your priestess memories. So it's something that comes, like, yeah. Yeah, that usually happens when you enter to a temple. You just feel like covering your hair, not for covering, hiding something, but just because what the mantle does energetically, one of the things that it does is that it generates this couple, this volt, this celestial volt, and all the codes that you're receiving are from a space of something that was encoded within the priestesshood. That's why all the women will be. There are also reasons that they say because of the hair that it brings all this allure to the men, but that's something that came more contemporaneously contemporaneously. The core to it is the energy that it generates. So it's everything that you're coming in to remember. It's like bringing it to the womb. So that's also why some men also feel, and so why also some Muslim men or Arabic men use this covering in their heads, because it's connecting with the womb of the mother, the energy. So it also has to do with that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of head upgrades, things you'll be getting in authority, halo kind of concepts that can integrate, and you'll feel interesting head pressure depending on like how it comes to you in authority, depending on if you earned it previously, who is it coming from, if there's armies that apply to it, and a directive of control and authority, and if it comes from like a space of where the being that's granting it is of high standing and safety and strength, or if they've been overwhelmed, then I'll also add to it. But as you start clearing head, then a lot of that abilities come online. And if you get any headaches or head pressures, I can go into helping you with that, and then you can resolve it pretty quickly, and then you learn how to do it from then forth on. And yeah, there's methods to wearing headdresses and things that can also process knowingness and expand that awareness in psionic tech that people have used. Okay. So I also like getting deja vu for some reason right now, and then coming from the future and like ability to change the timeline. So I'm like, oh, we should talk about? Well, it wants to go into the Great Pyramid a little bit, so I'll talk about that a little bit. But also, if you guys have any questions, and then we can finish up on some of the stuff. But we'll have more than just this call after this. So some of the stuff that I tune into with the Great Pyramid as an example. So for you guys out there, this is not going to be all of it. The stuff, this is what I'm allowed to say publicly. So with the superhuman love thing and achieving a level of love that you can't achieve anywhere else other than in this realm, in a human body, that are on so many people's purpose to-do list at the top of the list for being here, in leveling up whatever they can, and then maintaining that with love, resilience, and strength, because it amplifies every ability. It's a word we use to describe full spectrum energy at its core and most ancient source, full spectrum, and feeling that in greater and greater degrees. So the Great Pyramid amplifies in resilience 50 levels for everyone, which is barely, I never see any place like that in that many levels. Usually it's like 1, 2, 3. If I see any place of power that is good at love, which is still rare. So 50 levels, my God. And that goes into, if you start feeling like at your highest amplitude of bliss and love and joy and just everything's awesome, that day's fucking great. That's just like, that's probably less than level 10. So where birds start showing up, weather starts changing, like your abilities get like crazy amplified, and you start being able to resolve most types of evil very quickly. Like most types of evil are under level 30. So then you'd be left with the big predators that you're able to take on and then resolve and bring to goodness, which is what we'll be getting good at. And then you get like missions and rewards for anything that enters your game based on you getting your power back and your parts back and wholeness and healing and getting up to the greater level. Some things have these auric fields of like vampirism that spread throughout the world, and then they'll just fall into your trap, and then you get authority to resolve that tower of darkness, and then you get a lot of remedy and resilience, and then it becomes the fuel for your love to expand even more, which we'll be teaching. So level of love, tremendous. Large amount of superpowers it grants, especially having to do with magic and manifesting direct to this timeline, which is another word I like to describe it in. You can access divine healing, get your own divine healing as you ask for what you want to be healed, if it's some type of condition or something. You get it's a little not so well working, but we're gonna try to a lot of people go to the pyramid and try to like open up to the greatest level, but there's so much to do in the Great Pyramid. So at its fullness, I'd say not so much, but you get as it gets better and better and better, you get more access to this, which is an infinite energy supply. And then you can, based on how much you trade for it and you do for it, it will grant you a certain amount of energy every day or every second, depending on how much you do for it. You can extend your life 10 years at least with the current level it's at, if you do all the right things to earn that. And you can get your wish granted. That will like teach you what to do to set that up, because not many people are accessing that point of it. You can access 50 and 50. So divine masculine tech and divine feminine tech, 50 upgrades of abilities for both. It's also an evolution chamber that allows you to evolve your DNA and whatever you want, but you have to set up in a 3-step process to do so. and it's the allowance point of doing that, and very, very quickly. So very successful with that. And then yeah, I'll like some more into that. But you can also meet and call up and get on your psychic telephone the different founder races for this Earth, the solar system, galaxy, and the universe. And you can call them up and communicate and get their graces and approval and get them to like you. Also, another big thing, it is a depossession chamber. So you can, if you're afraid of all this kind of weird layers of attachment that comes from being in this world and all these spirits wanting to grab onto you and it's like, yeah, I want that, then it can help you depossess from that. I'm also a really good depossessor, so I'll be doing that and I'll getting that as an option for people. It was a pain in the ass to learn that ability. It took for months and it was annoying. So I don't like to teach that to people, mostly because I'm not allowed to unless they're ready to act on it. Because as soon as they do, they start getting targeted. So I don't recommend unless you have all the equipment. But you can, this is a great way to do it. Here, and also I can do it for you. But fuck, we're gonna see what this beauty can do for you in getting rid of entities out of you and getting your full sovereignty back. Because I read you can tap right into the source of that ability. So wonderful. And that's just for starters. We're gonna keep going with reading into what this place unlocks for you all and stuff we're not going to talk about on this stream. You're not going to be getting this from other tours.
Anyone wants to mention something or has a question so far?
I could add a small story about the Great Pyramid. My ex-girlfriend visited there like 2012 when the world was supposed to end at the same time, and after she had this profound experience with the love energy, and that's my view on it, I think few years after I met her, in my experience, she had a really deep like source connection. So I agree with Sean with these points.
Yeah, and actually Robert Grant has also done like all these studies of he has seen the constellations. Yssah sent to me a video on that there are some constellations embedded in the walls of the king's chamber. And I will also be talking about, well, a specific constellation that, well, I believe that most of us, if it's not all of us, know that the three pyramids, as most of the pyramids are aligned to Orion's belt, and that actually the rest of the Duat, how they called them, let's say the sky, the space, the outer space, it's like all the constellations are also embedded in the whole Yssah plateau. So like even the whole of Amenti, if someone has heard of that, if not, we will be talking about this in the trip, because it's also connected to the Mayans. And anyway, all of these constellations, this zodiac wheel is embedded in the Yssah plateau. And when we talk at scale in the King's Chamber, we will also be igniting our full hologram. And by full hologram, I mean not only the tropical zodiac, and not only the sidereal zodiac. I'm also talking about the unified zodiac, which involves Cetus, which is very connected to the dragon's gene, and Orion, because I mean, every ancient culture talks about Orion and the importance of Orion, and it's not included in the zodiac. But it's like those things that it's like trying to read a manual in Spanish without a dictionary in Spanish. Yes, dragons. Yes, because it's also related to the regeneration. Like there are specific chromosomes. This is information that, as Sean says, I'm only sharing it with very specific groups. And that now that Sean was here in Mexico, we tuned into a lot of information related to that. So we will be sharing some of it, what corresponds, because there is some information that is meant to be already brought to public, to be integrated by humanity. And one of those is the full human hologram, because how can you know how to read your own manual if you don't have all the directions? It's like some of the directions were missing. Well, those directions are Ophiuchus, Cetus, and Orion, because it's where we came from. It's the main gateway. So how it could not be considered and integrated in the human hologram. In case someone doesn't know what human hologram is our holographic body. Like as an onion, we have different layers. One of those is the geometrical body, the light body, like the 7 main bodies, to say. And the holographic body is where the human design was embedded. So imagine Doctor Strange bringing in all the codes, the geometries, creating a human hologram, and embedding and anchoring and sealing and opening, and well, that for the full body to experience its full potential when the original human hologram is ignited. So that's also one of the main purposes of the Grand Pyramid and most of the pyramids.
And again, we won't be sharing the top secret positive things that you can gain from this place and many of the others, but we'll be tuning in to it before we go in secret. And we'll suggest not telling that many people unless you are okay with targeting, and then you can resolve the targeting and camouflage the person that learns it. Then I wouldn't recommend it, but keeping it for yourself, knowledge. Is what I'm allowed to say. And then some of the other things that having to do with Great Pyramid that I'm allowed to say publicly is you gain fortress tech, as in it will trade with you the ability to fortress as if you have a giant pyramid around you with that capability and authority that will protect you. Then it also is a portal to a heaven realm. And we'll be going to a bunch of portals that go to different places and different realms and afterlife realms, and you earn access to those places so you can go to them in other lives or this life by locating. And then you can tune into what you're doing there as you trade with the commerce of that other realm. And as you trade with the afterlife realms and they like you, you gain more access to go into those places after you die. And then you many heaven realms, and you get, like how I usually see it is the people that gain many of those, they'll go from place to place in temporal dilated time, fuel up on because usually they may need to come back here to get the goodies here, because it's like you're like, going into a gold mine trying to dig it and what you can do while you're here. But they like to take a vacation in all these positive realms of healing, light, peace, goodness, all the things that they need before they come back, and they're refueled and supported, and regain awareness of their older authority and knowingness, and then they come back with that in a hyper supported state for the next life. Or if they want to just leave, they can. But also you gain a huge awareness of why you came here to begin with, which then we'll make you kind of question that and be like, oh, I may have to come back. Who knows? But you don't necessarily have to, especially if you do a lot that you're here to do in this lifetime, like what this coming on this trip will do for you.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like then the antidote for evil. There's a big emanation we can then project into the grid system, and remedy for the shadow in people, like Carl Jung's shadow, where it can turn all self-defeating into self-supporting in that chamber. And then a big thing, which is what we'll kind of be doing both there and in the White Desert, is the White Desert allows you to break past the illusion of the screens and the hologram of limitation of what you can see, because the night sky will be completely lit up with stars that you don't see otherwise, and the Milky Way, which you can then connect to this the galaxy at a better level and its glory with the prime creator and the different stars that you would be able to connect to and trade with in a circuit, and rediscover the lives that you have in those places, and then get like tears to your eyes, and then we can summon UFOs if anyone wants to do that. Yeah, and like shooting stars in the sky, because they'll usually not want to freak us out. Most of the time they don't want to freak us out, but they'll give us little messages of like a shooting star going across, or coming up out or going straight down or whatever, and then we'll be able to telepathically communicate with certain beings. In this place and in the White Desert, we're gonna do a thing with unlocking your own matrix and freeing yourself from that, as well as the teaching of gaining the friendship of different matrices that you've taken away from the dark hands and brought to light, and then bring them to their original purpose, and then getting the hologram, the life, the territory, the landmass, your bubbles of reality at home, and this one to like you and be fully aligned with you, and then more and more of everything be aligned with you and want your best to, as you unite fully with light, neutral, dark, and then getting evil to not like hate you anymore, and then resolving their thing, and then everything liking you. Any questions
Yeah.
on that kind of thing? Nope.
Okay. Yes, the white.
I could, yeah, got it resolved, and then, resolved a bunch of things but yeah, they things will come at you pretty quick, and so yeah, you definitely have to be prepared for those things. And it'd be nice you could go to a chamber and do that. It's probably a lot safer.
Exactly. So it will be better, but at the same time, so I read you. I don't know exact because I haven't done it there. But I'm reading you can get it done at a higher level than most places. So it'll be really nice for people, and they'll feel clearer, more energy, more love, more of their parts coming back, and then those beings will be resolved. And like, not to freak anyone out there, but most people have some type of layer of attachment, and I like to range those from like 1 to 10, for example, and like low level attachment and stealing and tech, to like deep possession, to where like their whole being is taken over, which are kind of rare, but it's weird. It's very like matrixy, like the things in the reality people are sent to you, weird stuff happens, and especially if they're freaked out about like going away. So yeah, I'm not going to teach that there, but I'll because I don't have the tools to do it, but I can do that in future sessions with you guys. But then we'll be kind of going over a little, and some of the things actually might grant people something, so it might even bypass the regular training I'd have to do people. I read something like that, so we'll see. Fingers crossed, That'd be so much better. And that's such an overpowered ability because it helps so many things. So many beings ask me to depossess them. It's crazy. It's barely anything knows how to do that. And yeah. So like when facing that kind of thing, like,
Oh shit. Here we go again.
yeah.
Well,
It's very cool, though.
in addition, in addition to that, one of the techniques I use is the source code, which is I will be handing in to every one of you your source code. I have your source code is your geometrical body. Yeah, it's the fusion. Imagine the information of your gravitational field and your electromagnetic field fusioned, then you get your geometrical body. Your geometrical body is your source code. Each one of us have a source code. And this source code is the key to the source to all. It's your unicity, your uniqueness within the unity. So we will be entering the temples, unfolding our source code, which is aligned to the coordinates of the temple. So by this, you are entering into your own universe. So this is a very powerful tool. We experienced it in Mexico. We just did it once. We will do it more in Egypt, but the ones that we did it the first time in Palenque, immediately, like the energy, like a lot of mission was accomplished. Deep mission was accomplished related to Pacal. Remember coming and like going out and going inside and all these things? Well, it was because it was a very deep connection with Pacal's memories. So, but anyway, when you go inside a temple or a pyramid or anywhere, unfolding first your source code, the results that you will be gaining are much faster and much more precise. So also setting an intention, like an individual intention, a personal intention, and as a collective intention for where every time where we step in, we are in unity and we are very powerful together. We're very powerful together. And from that space, it will also be easier to take care of things along with everything that Sean has shared.
And to translate, because I'm not, she uses very scientific terms a lot of time very quickly. Based on what I asked her about it, the words I remember are, it's like you gaining a remote control and a symbolic image of your electromagnetic and auric emanation to the core of your hologram to be able to take control of it. And then as you're integrating and working with it and seeing the geometry around you, you get more and more control over it. Your spirit and your mind of your various light bodies and programming. So it makes a difference. And it also has a little generator, and then you can put in a frame and stuff. And depending on the other things she draws, does do various other things that I've seen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. I call it devices, and it's high technology. There are codes, and if someone needs one, I will be also giving. For instance, if Saif needs a special code because I have tuned into her field, and she will find very useful one to connect with the specific memories, I will share it with you along with some frequencies, because yeah, these frequencies that I have also unfolded or translated are based on quantum physics formulas. I've decoded them in a specific language, light language, and then just emanate them in sound. So the effect that it has in your brain is it's much more precise. So yeah, I will also be sharing with you some of these tools that are actually in between Atlantean and Lemurian tools, to say it somehow, for it to be easier to connect within a specific informational field. Yet this is also very rooted to igniting the full body in the frequency of 144,000, which is this mythos, or also this saying that 144,000 people will come. Well, if we take it to a scale, or are the ones that are going to be in Earth after everything happens, well, I relate it to the frequencies, the harmonic speed of light that we are capable to generate in our body, in our source code. Imagine a double torus. In other words, is to bring in all the information that you are, which is the universe itself, and be capable to harmonize it and then align to reality. Of course, I will be sharing with you just to some extent, because it's a process. It's a whole process, but for it to be used in the places that we will be in, so that you can achieve more precise results and connect with the memories that are more important for you to remember, and to ignite specific parts in your body that you need in order, like, it's everything that we have shared, just doing it from the holofractographic field, which is that field where your hologram is created, and also from the dimension where all the programs are created. But I won't talk about more of I will be talking and sharing more about this the trip. I know it can get a little bit maybe it might be a new thing for you, but I assure you it's very easy and a very powerful one. What I'm sharing with you is just the theory. When it comes to use it, it comes very easy, very handy. Just bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
And
in a very way.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
For those out there, if you're thinking of coming or whatever, yeah, if you face more heavinesses coming at you to try to stop you or put you in fear of like coming and all that, and don't worry, we're gonna do this. It's really nice, safe. All the fears that are coming at you are false evidence appearing real. And yeah, you just it's a good switch perspective to it being bad. Oh no, blah, 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 to this is another weight that's gonna make my love stronger. So I'll just give you a little hints on like some of the procedures for amplifying love. Give it size and scale, that big ball of negativity on you anytime. Surround it with a big golden ball of love. And either you can hug yourself and breathe deeply and just breathe into it like you're amplifying, fanning a flame, or you can compress it like with Qigong while breathing in, breathing out, and sometimes holding it and just shrinking it down, collapsing it. You'll be engulfing it with love and gratitude and turning it into the fuel that makes your love stronger. As well, if you come across evil energy, which might likely be sent at you, because they're limited in what they can send at people to stop them. Then you do the same thing and have it go through a little portal. Work with source, like have faith in your connection to source, in your heart. Like that, most people communicate when they communicate to God. It goes to the prime creator in the center of the galaxy, and then it fractally goes upward. And you can work with that and have faith with them. They know about you. They're omni with you. They are you. And you collapse it through a portal, send it to holding space held by source, and they'll reward you for every units of evil energy you capture and send there. And they'll give you certain abilities and talents. It'll be nice. And I'll just be a little thing to help you guys get through those tough times, and then it gets lighter and lighter and lighter on the heart until you feel abundant compassion and love. For every time they send something at you, it just makes you stronger. And then we'll do a bigger, more intricate, faster version, and many other layers of the system that are needed for each level of love to make it resilient at the trip.
Anyone a question or in a specific place you would like for us to talk about, to cover?
Or go, or if you wanted, and you can bring it up later. It's like save it on your Google Docs or something. Or if you heard it online or saw a video about it.
Yes. Yeah, we'll also be talking about this in the next Zoom gathering, like some surprises we have been talking about, as yeah, to at some point experience with you. So, but yeah, that will be in the next Zoom call. So, well,
sorry, one thing
yes.
I wanted to ask, could you send us like a program with the itinerary?
Sure.
Or even
Sure.
if it's not super exact, but just to have an idea.
It's a surprise. I was just kidding. I will send it to you.
And that won't be everything. We'll also be accumulating the various places that if give or take on time, you guys can choose if you want to go, but we also want to get your opinion on which ones you feel the most drawn to.
Mm.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what we will be sharing with you as what we have come with as a possibility, and then also the places that you feel like, because some of you have expressed that you have like a very specific connection to some consciousness, some forms of consciousness. So if at some point you also want to talk about it, for instance, Nefertiti or Hatshepsut or one of the Neteru, please do so. We are more than happy to talk about that, and also contemplating and sharing you some of the places that we will be going and that are related to that. Yeah, because it's core of the trip. I mean, when we're talking about superhuman love and ancient Egypt, of course, Akhenaten and Nefertiti are in the field as a unified field, And when we were talking about power, memories of power, and this balance in between feminine and masculine, of course, Hatshepsut comes, like in the front row. And also stargates and portals related to the places that were their mortuary temples, which were actually this, let's say, structures to keep them hibernating or in cryogenesis for the moment to happen. That's why it was so important for them to preserve the body, But yeah, so yes.
I was gonna say, Sean was mentioning an island that's got like lots of cats and temples.
Yes.
You're gonna feed them treats, and they've got some like gods and that enter into the cats. Is the I don't know if you could maybe mention anything
Isis
else
temple.
about,
Yeah, the Isis
yeah,
temple.
that
Part of the temple is underwater, and they moved a lot of the structure right next to it. And there's portals, so we'll be going from boat near where the portals are and right to the island. And there's a bunch of cats, and there's probably going to even be more cats. So yeah, each one of them has lyrans from higher dimensions, and they're most the Egyptian mythos has been kind of watered down, and a lot of the deities have been merged together. So at least like with like Sekhmet, there's like 8 deities that were merged together, and at least I read, and then same with Bas, and then a bunch of those. So there's a lot more Lyran, higher dimensional beings and gods and beings of authority that can connect to, and that's a good place to connect to them. That or the Sphinxes or the various places you'll be that will reference them, and then hidden portals that go to some of the realms. Go ahead, Yssah, what do you know about the
Yeah, I feel some hearts already powering up by just tuning into the frequency of Isis and the Lyrans. Yes, Sean was saying this is like the main part of the temple structure where that is officially possible to visit is the one that, like, the whole structure was underwater. When they removed the press, the swan press, it's not press, it's the one that was holding the water to come, you know. It's yeah, well, you understand, right? That's the, I don't remember the, Sean, what's the name?
Do you mean a dam?
The dam, yes. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, so when they took it, then all the water came in and the temple was washed away, you know, like most of the temple was underwater. So they took part of the temple and brought it to an island where the cats are now, and where there is a huge portal actually, because in that island, in the back part, it's Yssah Island, there is this cave that we will be going as well. We will be going there in a private boat and reaching the original gate of Isis temple. And there is also in front a huge portal related to Lyra. And next to it, it's a cave that hasn't been digged yet. And they call it the Osiris cave. And it's full of birds' mummies, falcons' mummies. So yeah, it's a very highly energetic place, and we will be doing some beautiful connection there. We will have the place for ourselves. And the other part, the main part that everybody can go in, like all the tourists can go in, it's also a very special place, even though it's not the original place for the temple. They did a very good job, and it is still connecting to some important constellations, but the pieces that are there, like in the Holy of Holies, how it is called, which is the main chamber, there is this huge granite rock that, yeah, it generates portals, and it leads you immediately to somewhere else. So we will be connecting with the place. We will be doing our thing. For me, those ones who know what I do, what I mostly do, one of the things that I mostly do, and one of the things that I have most remembered throughout my stay in Egypt, I call it the Isis arc, and it is related to the primordial gen. For the word Genesis comes from Genesis. So Isis is also a code for the primordial gen for humanity. There is a lot of hieroglyphs showing the parthenogenesis, which is the virginal conception, that then they translated it to Virgin Mary. It started with Isis and with Horus. So to connect with the temple of Isis is to expand the heart. And how all the cats come in, and yes, you can feed them. And there is one that is, it's an eternal cat, because it's not a cat. Well, it is and it's not. It has been there ever since the first time I went to Egypt. That cat has been there, and it's an extension of Isis consciousness as well. I saw the two depictions of Isis pregnant. I have a photo. Yes, well, that is the only image of a woman pregnant, because in the rest of the temples, you won't see any woman pregnant. They are carrying the baby, but they are not pregnant. So they are talking about parthenogenesis, which is a little bit of it's like the bees. The bees also reproduce through virginal conception or parthenogenesis. So yeah, the thing is that when we connect with Isis consciousness, with Isis frequency, Why it's so much love? Because one of the main purposes of the creation of that extension of Atlantean lineage was for this knowledge to prevail, for this race to prevail, and to go beyond separation and sustain in unity. And that's also very related to the Psion code, the primordial Psion code. I'm not talking about the distortion that happened later, because then there was like a lot of interests in the middle. I'm talking about the particle of light and the flower of life fully expanded, and the purpose of the sealed flower of life, as everything has a purpose. Why was it designed? Everything has an order, and to understand it, to comprehend it, is to be capable of the full ignition of love and fusioning with all the stories, all the timelines that have happened, and come to comprehend and to remember that everything has happened for a reason, in order for us to embody that power, that all that information represents and expand as the particle of light itself. And we can only do that through our wholeness. And our wholeness represents embracing everything that has happened, everything that we have been and that we have not been. So Isis is a very good key to do that from a space of love, because in the genetics, it generates a void. Like, to say it from quantum physics, it represents like a small vacuum, like this uterus, like this eye, like the eye. So yeah, we will also be bringing in that alive.
Oh, very cool.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for the explanation. It was great.
If you like God bumps, we get a lot, and especially as we communicate the right things and acknowledge the gods and the different spirits. Yeah.
What's a God bump?
Into the God bumps.
What,
Going to be exploring places that most people can't go. You would?
oh, what's a God bump?
It's like goosebumps. We just call them that. It's more.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like you realizing or remembering, or a spiritual invigoration, or to pay attention. There's all kinds of methods for it, and even something trying to get your attention. Might be your own spirit. Anything else anyone wanted to cover before we wrap this up, and then we can do more of these meet and greets as well. Hopefully there'll be more members. Not everyone could come today, but that's fine. They'll be able to see it. We'll upload, and then
well, thank you for the question, Alana. Amarna, Tel El Amarna, which was the city that Akhenaten and Nefertiti raised with that community. We're not going there. I've been there a couple of times now, and I tell you right now that the energy there can be very overwhelming due to all the memories that there is to it. And what is more aligned to what we will be doing, and the last place where Akhenaten and Nefertiti were before heading to Amarna, we will be going, which is the desert of Luxor. I've been to the cave where Akhenaten was called before receiving the message to go to Amarna. And the desert of Luxor, well, that was the last place after Elephantine Island, then Luxor Desert holding the Ark of the Covenant, and then he took it to Tele La Marna. So after everything happened, what happened there was a lot of, let's say, expansive distortion that happened over the field, generating a lot of clouds and mist within the information, making it unable to connect with the primordial information to it. So then it translated as the 7 plagues, because when you go to Tele La Marna, it's like smelling, like on the first layer, on the surface, like smelling death. You have to go deep. You have to go deep to connect with all the information that there is to it. I will have a very special present for you from Amarna, so that you can connect with it. And we will be also going yet to look. Luxor has a very important code because it's the center of Egypt. It's just the center. And it is, if you know where to be, then it is the place for unification. And that was the main purpose for Akhenaten. If he left Luxor, it wasn't because of the land itself. The land was perfect. He just needed to find another energetic point with another anomaly to generate a contained field with 15 stela to save the Ark of the Covenant. But Luxor is that place where the Ark of the Covenant was held for quite a few years, and that still holds a lot of the codes related to unity and to the original information that was given to Akhenaten for him to continue this unification process.
And we'll be tuning into the various places the Ark of the Covenant has touched and what that means as a powerhouse of the pyramid and multiple temples. And then seeing what we can do without the Ark needed, and what the Ark is a key for, that the human bodies can express as well. And we'll be doing a teaching everyone psychic tracking, so they can track back any places that are calling them and their past lives. And we'll try to make that part of especially as we all vote, like what places to go to with the time that is free, and what we don't get to go to, you'll be getting upgrades to expand your ability to extend to those places, and we'll be helping you retrieve that in wholeness.
Yes.
Have you figured out, I bet you have actually, so silly question, but you were mentioning to me that a lot of us that are going on this tour are probably soul family. And you're smiling. You don't have to say anything.
I rank soul family in like degrees. So everyone here is first degree. So whatever you want to do with that, and like you've met before, you've had team ups, interacted, become friends. You know, there's many things. I'm not trying to give too much away, but you can then read into it. You will probably have experiences with the people you talk to. You'll feel more connected. You know, it'll be great.
I just keep thinking, ever since I heard you say that there might be like some of those places where we've all been together at that particular place before, and that would be so exciting to unpack that. I would love that. Anyways,
absolutely.
Sorry, I don't want to. I could ask you a million questions, but I'm going to not hold back.
Yeah, well, we'll have more little shows, and then when we get there, of course, go full free to go launch those out.
I will.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely tune into the lives that we all share together, and multiple and reasons. They are good ones to tune into, because they're usually sync ups of the mission we're here that's like secret that we were involved in previous lives. So it'll be fun to tune into.
So that's what I was thinking. Be like is it like a continuation because of the, you know, everybody that's come back? I always heard, you know, like that Jesus, Akhenaten, Arthur, and everybody had the same mission. They just kept coming back as if mission failed, and then somebody else would pick it up and keep going with it. And I kind of got that feeling that that's what we were going to be doing here, since all of us, this is seriously a mission. This ain't no tourist.
Exactly.
You know, so
Good
so
intuition.
yeah,
That'll be things.
so this is like another chance for us to complete the mission that we couldn't do before. Oh, I'm God bumping already. Okay.
Yeah. Your
Thanks.
intuition on spot on point. It's not stuff I can mention here because this is going to be public.
Sorry.
But no, go for it. Yeah. You're not going to mention.
You have to edit this.
Give it away.
You need to edit this, right? You're going to edit Carmen out of the.
I would edit it if I went over the mission. But yeah, there's things like that. There's a dozen plus lifetimes that I'm safely willing to talk about. That's of us meeting together and doing something big, and that will give you more goosebumps when I go over that. That'll be fun.
Oh, awesome! Oh,
goosebumps
God.
or
yes, thank you.
or God bumps.
Yeah, both. It doesn't like the godly bumps.
A sacred goosebumps.
Mother goosebumps, yeah.
Mother goosebumps, yeah, right. Yeah, there's that.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone has another question or comment before we wrap this up until then our next meeting? I believe that for now, the questions related to the logistics that you should know, which is mainly the flying ticket for the ones that doesn't have. Yeah, we have already recorded this. I will send it to you, and well, Lindsay as well, and Casey. Well, the ones that don't have a flying ticket yet, in this recording, I am sharing the suggestions to buy the best option, and yeah, also we recommend Turkish Airlines. It's a really good way to go. It's one of the best airlines to Egypt, at least. And yeah, well, the rest, it's already recorded. And what else could be? I will be sending the list with the suggestions for the dressing code for the whole trip. And what else? Well, visa, just it was just for Alana, who lives in Canada, but the rest can do direct visa from the airport, just 25 euros or dollars. It's the same amount, whether if it's euros or dollars. And one person will come directly after you leave after you cross the entrance of the airport, coming out from your airplane, someone will be waiting for you with your sign. Why am I explaining this? Because most of the companies wait for the clients after they pay their visa and after they receive the stamp for their visa. This is not our case. Someone will be waiting for you just as soon as you get off the plane to support you and assist you to get your visa, to buy your visa, to get it stamped and go through customs. So this is much easier and much more effective. So those are mainly the two concerns that pop out related to the travel. The rest of them, you know that everything is already included, so you can rest on that. And I will also be sending the program. So yeah, I don't know if anyone has a question later, you can write it in the group, and if not, also you know, like any place, god, goddess, Neteru, pyramid you want to comment about, or for us to go thoroughly to it, then feel free to do that.
Is
Okay.
it all Canadians that need a visa?
Yeah, I
Canadian,
was going to ask that about Lindsay.
Yeah, because I'm from Canada as well.
oh, okay, so then you need to go to the embassy in Ottawa, in the Egyptian embassy in Ottawa, and I
Or
can
like
write a
wherever
letter
you
for
are,
you.
wherever the major city where the embassy is. Like I think she's in Toronto. Is that right?
Yeah, but the only embassy I think is in Ottawa.
It's
I
only
was,
Okay.
yes.
So, like you're
Ottawa.
like,
Yeah, I just went to Ottawa. Was it yesterday? The day
Yeah.
before yesterday. I
No,
had to drive
yes,
there.
yesterday. Uh-huh.
I'm lost already. Yeah, everybody, I don't know if you're aware of this, Lindsay, but nobody, you know, I had just found out that as of October 1st, only Canadians cannot apply online or get their visa at the airport in Cairo airport anymore. We have to, everybody in Canada has to go in person to Ottawa, whether they have to fly from Vancouver or wherever. And there's people who are in the lineup that said, now they have to go home, fly home from Vancouver and then come back from Vancouver to pick it up. You go in the morning to apply, and then you have to wait 2 weeks till they phone you and say it's ready, and then you have to go back and pick it up. I'm 2 hours. I'm north of Toronto.
oh wow.
I-
Yeah, I'm
And just in case, look up if there's one in Toronto. If not, then yeah, we can.
yeah, I'm on
there's
Vancouver
not.
Island. I'm all the way, I'm as
See?
west as you can go. I'm on the on Vancouver Island.
This is, yeah, I mean, this is, I even spoke to, I phoned the Egyptian consulate in Cairo, and they referred it back, right back. Everything went right back to Canada, to the federal government. And then on the federal government side, that's it. This is the only way to do it. There's no other options. So I was concerned about that. I was just about to ask that question because
Well, that was
I
the
thought I was
closest
going
one to
Canadian.
you. So we'll have to double check to see if it's near
There's
Vancouver.
only one.
Well,
There's
that
no
that's
other,
near
it's
you,
only Egypt
but
and in Ottawa.
I know, but we'll double check because that would,
Okay.
if they made it so that you could only do that through Ottawa, they would have so many complaints. I would imagine that
Oh, they
that
did.
wouldn't last
They
long.
they
Right.
don't care. They don't care. Like I said, there's 1,000.
Still, then
Go on Google Maps, there's 1,000 complaints on there. Everybody, that's why they were so intense when I went there, because everybody's so freaked out that they're gonna stop it, you know. But the guy in front of me, he had to book trips back and forth to from Vancouver to come back and pick up it. That's what people are doing.
okay, well,
There's only one consulate in the federal government. I don't know what's going on. You have an idea, don't you? Is something that's going on between Canada and Egypt regarding this whole thing?
Well, the thing is that there are specific alliances in between one country and another, and the alliance in between Canada and Egypt is not that strong right now. That's why they are, and also because well, we can look at it at different scales, you know, like if we are capable to remember that Egypt is waiting for us, and that all those things are just part of the plot. And yeah, because one of the things that also Egypt shows is such impeccability in the magic, like capability of generating miracles like this. And even you saw it, like everyone was freaked out with their letter, and with you they even smiled to you, you know, because then it was that point of acknowledgement, you know. So yeah,
well, the minute I started separating them, like you said, I said I see the whole matrix, the airline and the Egyptian and the governments, all the governments matrix on one side and then the power of Egypt and the whole thing separate from that. Once I split those two things up, then I could see quickly then I could go jumping back and forth between them and start walking, balancing between the two. So I was hoping that by my being there and going with that whole attitude and shining my light and doing everything that I did, because it was so harmonious in that room. It was harmonious, but it was like everybody was in a standstill, you know, so, but I felt it. But if I was hoping I was doing that it would automatically, all of a sudden, there a miracle would happen and there'd be a release saying, yeah, no, Canadians don't have to go to Ottawa anymore. Right. Like Lindsay needs that now.
Yeah, we'll help you, Lindsay, with that. Let's let us know on the data between them. Yeah, we'll help you.
I'll find.
What'd you say?
Oh yeah, I'll see what they say. I know there's a lot of resistance already. Like I mentioned, that time, I had an issue with time speeding up on me. Like, so I couldn't really, when I was trying to look into stuff about, you know, going there and everything. And then next thing you know is like time was going so fast. Like I'd look at the clock and then a few hours, you know, I get like one thing done or two things done, like little things. And then also I look at the clock and 4 hours had gone by, right? And then I was teaching one of my kickboxing classes, and they even noticed, like the girls made a comment to me because like we did a quick warm up. We did like one drill and then the class was over already. And they're like, wow, that was just how time fly by so fast. So, so anybody that was like directly interacting with me was noticing that time seemed to be like overly quick. Like we would get very little done in that time period. But I worked on that a bit, so it seems like time is actually like flowing more normally now. So, but it took quite a lot of trying to resolve things. But yeah, there's definitely I don't know if anybody else experiences that, but yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool. Yeah, and time changes. The speed of light changes. You know, there's all kinds of systems to observance and the fields we create, and our time versus raw time, and sped up time or slow down time, and depending on what we define we want, we can take more control over time. There's a benefit to that entirely in relativity.
Yes.
Yeah, gotta get it working for us as opposed to working against you.
So there, you were mentioning, Lindsay, something about you having something to check on your ear and your. It was you, right?
Oh no, it wasn't me.
No.
It was that it had happened like when I was like learning some of that deep possession. It was my boyfriend's.
Ah, okay. Because anyway, I'm receiving that you will be receiving a lot of upgrade brain-wise. You know, maybe this is why this is showing to you the thing of the time. Because that's one of the capabilities that you will surely be igniting there. Yeah, entering the path and remembering that you are capable to do that. Yes. Yes.
That's interesting. I think like in the past when I was younger, I was like involved with some things, like some programs or whatever that had to do with time, because I had some time abilities, and you know, there's always people trying to take advantage of that. But yeah, like it's kind of, you know, that's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yes, it is. And actually all the sequence that you have expressed, that we will be going through that about in everyone's experience, you know, in order for you to receive the most that you can. Yes.
That was great.
Yes. And remember the more than remember as much as you can. Yes.
Oh, wow. That'd be awesome.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, we could go on and on and on. And because it's not only Sean that extends, also me. Like, so I wonder how the trip is going to go, because I can see that all of us enjoy like staying for a while chatting. And so yeah, it will be really nice. It already is. So thank you. And it's a pleasure to be with all of you, with each one of you, to know that we will soon be sharing physically and experiencing many things together. And we will see in which loop we are. And yeah, like achieving the mission that we have been called to attend, and getting to experience ourselves at our full potential, to go and receive what we know, each one of us know, that is awaiting for us, and embrace it. And yeah, from a space of love, of superhuman love, because love is the key.
Yes, look forward to seeing you all there, and meeting you, hugging you, and seeing you flourish and expand into what you want to become. This is going to have a big impact. I'm very excited. Oh, lovely I love secrets. So we're going to discover a lot of secrets, and then the great mystery will unfold in front of us. And much power into your life and your future, into you emanating that. So thank you all for coming, and yeah, hope you have a wonderful day. And anyone out there that's also seeing this in the future, yeah, look forward to seeing you if you come, and spreading this wisdom to the world.
Yeah. Thank you for being active participants in this transformation, in this Earth's evolution, in this humanity, because this is what we require: a lot of heart and active participation, not just contemplation, being full present, and believing the greatness of our role in this reality, not taking us for granted, doing what we need to do in order to be the best version of ourselves. So thank you. And any question, I will be opening the group today so that we can stay more in touch. And any question, whether you can direct to Sean or me, and we're more than happy to assist you. Logistics, it's more about me, related to the air flights, like everything related to the program. So also feel free to ask. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much. Again, happy to see you. See you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you both for being such wonderful leaders into this adventure. It's so comforting, and I'm so trusting, and so this is like all the trips to Egypt should be like. Everyone should be getting this kind of teaching while they're there, not just, this is so wonderful. I'm extremely grateful. Thanks for talking me into it, Sean.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you there.
Likewise. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, bye. Bye. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Look
meet
forward
you.
to that.
Oh.
I want to hear our stories. Okay, I won't put them in the book. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.